Hi everyone, my name's Kelly with yogiapproved.com, and today we're going to focus on opening up our hamstrings. And it's super important to give love to your hamstrings to not only gain mobility and flexibility, but to also deepen your asanas in your yoga practice and to help open up your low back. All you need in your practice today is a mat, so let's get started and open up our hamstrings. All right, so let's get started in tabletop. So coming down onto all fours, making sure that wrists are stacked directly above shoulders, knees are stacked directly underneath hips. Tuck your toes, take a big inhale. And exhale as you slowly engage your core, send your hips high to our first pose, downward facing dog. So in down dog, you're pushing the earth away with your hands, spreading fingertips wide like starfish. Good. Pushing shoulders down the back, hugging navel in towards spine as you send your sit bones high to the sky. You can bring a bend into your knees to take some pressure off your hamstrings. And just hang out here, connecting to your full belly breath. Feel free to pedal out your knees, giving even more love to your hamstrings. And this pose is really beneficial not only for your hamstrings, but also to help open up the low back. So staying here in downward facing dog, sending your sit bones higher to the sky. When you're ready, inhale, right leg comes high, three-legged down dog. You can stay here up on the ball of your feet, but if you want a little bit more hamstring stretch on the left side, slowly begin to lower your heel a little bit closer to the ground, making sure that hip stays squared. Good, take another big inhale. And exhale as you step your foot between your hands for low lunge pose. Square your hips, send your right hip back, left hip forward. You can stay here, or if you want, you can inch your toes up just a little bit further to the top of the mat. Drop your back right knee. Good. Take an inhale, sink deeper into your hips. And then exhale as you straighten your right leg. Right toes are flexed, pointed up to the sky. So our half splits pose is really great for softening the front side of your leg as you engage the back side. So make sure your hips stay squared in this pose. Keep hugging your right hip back. And then take an exhale, sink a little bit deeper, hinge from your hips, keep your spine long. And then inhale, use your breath to pull you back to low lunge pose. Good. Exhale, straighten your leg, hinge over your hips to fold. And inhale, slowly move back to low lunge pose. Good. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Take an inhale. And exhale, engage your core, send your hips high back to downward facing dog. Feel free to hang out here for a full belly breaths if you'd like, giving some more love to your hamstrings, pedaling out your knees, whatever you need to help open up your hamstrings and your low back and shoulders and chest in this pose. Good. On your next inhale, left leg comes high, three-legged down dog. Square your hips, tuck your left hip down. Again, stay here on the ball of your foot. Or if you want, you can slowly begin to release your right heel towards the ground for a hamstring stretch on the right side. Take another inhale, three-legged down dog. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands, setting up for low lunge pose on this side. Square your hips, send your left hip back, right hip forward. Again, you can stay here. You can wiggle your toes just a little bit closer to the top of the mat. Good. Drop your back right knee. And inhale, sink deeper into your hips. And low lunge pose is really great for helping to engage your thighs, helping with your balance in your yoga practice. And then on your exhale, slowly begin to hinge over your hips, straighten your left leg. Left toes are flexed, pointed up to the sky. Keep hugging your left hip back. Good, beautiful. On your next inhale, use your breath to pull you back to low lunge pose. And then exhale, straighten your left leg, hinge over your hips to fold. Make sure that your spine is long in this pose. You can stay here as long as you'd like, or you can flow back to low lunge pose if you'd want to. And then plant your hands. When you're ready, step back to plank. Take another inhalation. And exhale, engage your core. Send your hips high, downward facing dog. Good. Setting up for our next pose. On your inhale, slowly begin to walk your feet to the top of the mat. Coming into our half lift. So spine is long, gaze is down to the mat. You can stay here for an inhale. Lengthen the spine a little bit longer. Bring a little bit of a bend into your knees to take pressure off your hamstrings. As you exhale to hinge from the hips. Head and neck are heavy. You can stay here, or if your hamstrings are feeling tight today, you can come into ragdoll pose, gently swaying side to side to help release and open up your low back. And if you want to give a little bit more love to your low back, gently heel toe your feet a little bit wider apart and continue to sway side to side. Stay here and breathe, or if you want a little bit more, slowly come up to halfway lift. We're gonna bring a bind into our forward fold. So bring most of the weight into your right foot, come up onto the ball of your left foot. You can stay here as you begin to open up your right hamstring a little bit more. And if you wanna add on the bind, keep your left palm planted as you inhale your right hand up to the sky. And then exhale, wrap your arm around your low back, reaching for your left inner thigh. So you can stay here in the half bind, or if you wanna come into the full bind, slowly begin to bring your left tricep underneath your left hamstring, reaching for your right fingertips, rolling your right shoulder open. Make sure that you're straightening your right knee to help give love to your right hamstring. Good. Stay here for one full belly breath, breathing in all the yummy benefits. And then slowly coming out of the twist, inhale your right hand up to the sky. Exhale, release your right palm down to the mat. And then release your left heel back down. You can come back into a forward fold if you'd like. And then to set up on the other side, slowly begin to come back up halfway lift. Shifting all the way into your left foot, coming up to the ball of your right foot. Good. You can stay here and breathe, making sure that you're straightening your left leg to bring warmth into your left hamstring. Or if you want to come into a bind on this side, inhale your left hand up to the sky. Exhale as you wrap your left arm around your back, reaching for your right inner thigh, rolling your left shoulder open. Staying here, coming into the full bind, slowly begin to release your right tricep underneath your right hamstring, reaching for your left fingertips. Good, rolling your left shoulder open. Staying here for one full belly breath, bringing the warmth and love into our left hamstring. Good, on your next inhale to come out of the bind, bring your left hand up to the sky. Exhale, release your left hand down to the mat. Release your right heel back down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. So from forward fold, setting up for our next pose, come into your halfway lift again. Keep your fingertips or palms planted as you slowly begin to walk your feet out to the side, setting up for Prasarita pose. So in Prasarita, make sure that your feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. Whatever distance apart with your feet works best for you and your body, come into that pose. So starting in our halfway lift, flat back gazes down to the mat, take an inhale. And then exhale as you fold deeply, coming into our wide-legged forward fold. This pose is amazing for helping to open up the low back, also hamstrings, glutes, and hips as well. So you can stay here or take this moment to really empower yourself. Listen to your body and give yourself what you need. If you want to add in a twist, take an inhale, come up to halfway lift. Keep your left palm planted as you inhale your right hand up to the sky, stacking your right shoulder over your left. Stay here for one full breath, keeping quads engaged. Good. Exhale, release your right palm back down to the mat, bringing your right palm directly underneath your face. Inhale your left hand up to the sky, twisting on the other side. On this side, we're stacking our left shoulder over your right. Beautiful. Take one more full belly inhale. Exhale, coming out of the twist, release your left hand down to the mat. Take another inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold deeply, walking your fingertips behind you, pulling yourself deeper into this pose. If this is too much, that's fine. Bring a little bit of a bend into your knees to take the pressure off your hamstrings. Good. Stay here for one more full belly breath. You can sway side to side if you like, if that feels best in your body. And just breathe, sending your breath down to your low back or down to your hamstrings. Good. On your next inhale, slowly begin to come back up to your halfway lift. Bringing your palms directly underneath your face. Spine is long. And setting up for our next pose, coming into Skandasana. So take another inhale on your halfway lift. And exhale as you Skandasana to the right. So Skandasana pose. This is very different in every single yoga practice. I personally like to come up onto the ball of my foot. That's more comfortable for me and my hips. If you want to come down to your heel, that's totally fine, but notice how I shift my hips when I come down to my heel. Up to you, as this is your personal yoga practice, so empower yourself to do what feels best for you. So coming up onto the ball of your foot, left leg is extended out long beside you. You're coming up onto the heel of your left foot. Left toes are flexed, pointed up to the sky, engaging your leg, engaging your quads to bring that love into your left hamstring. So you can stay here with your fingertips down on the mat. Engage your core, lengthen your spine. If you want to add in a little bit more, keep your right palm planted as you inhale your left hand up to the sky for a side body stretch, opening up the left side of your body. Good, opening up your left hamstring. And then exhale, bring your left hand back down to the mat. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, Skandasana to the left. Again, set up on the ball of your left foot or your left heel, whatever feels best for you and your hips. Lengthen your spine, engage your core, sit up nice and tall. Stay here and breathing in your Skandasana with your right leg extended long to the side of you. Heel of your right foot is planted down, right toes are flexed, pointed up to the sky. Stay here if you want to add on that side body extension. Keep your left palm planted. Inhale your right hand up to the sky. Opening up your right side body, opening up your right hamstring. Sink a little bit deeper into your right hamstring. Good. Take another inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, release your right palm back down. Walk yourself back to the middle of your mat, coming back into Prasarita pose. Rotate your feet so that they're parallel to the edge of the mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Bring the blood back to your head. Good. So from halfway lift, bring your hands to your hips. Engage your core. Bring a little bit of a bend into your knees as you slowly come up to standing. Now we're going to slow down our practice with a few seated hamstring openers. So coming down onto your sit bones. We're coming into our seated wide angle pose. So root your sit bones into the mat. Extend your legs out to the side. So both feet are flexed, toes are active, toes are pointed up to the sky. Make sure that you lengthen your spine, sit up nice and tall, keep your shoulders down the back. And engage your thighs, engage your quads, rolling your inner thighs open just a little bit. Keep your spine long, inhale, hand sweep up to the sky. And you can stay here for full belly breaths if you'd like. Or if you want to add in a little bit more, take a big inhale. And then exhale, release your right palm down to your right shin, rolling your left shoulder open for a side body stretch, opening up your hamstrings and your low back just a little bit more. Good. Stay here for one more full belly breath on this side. And then when you're ready on your next inhale, engage your core, come back up to center, both hands come up to the sky, keeping your shoulders down the back. Exhale as you release your left palm down to your left shin, rolling your right shoulder open on this side, opening up your right side body. Again, stay here for one more full belly breath. Good. When you're ready, use your inhale, engage your core, bring both hands back up to the sky. And then exhale, release your hands down next to your side body. So you can stay here. If you want to add in a little bit more, you can slowly begin to hinge from your hips. Bring your palms to the middle of the mat. You can stay here, or you can take peace fingers around your big toes, making sure your spine stays long, lifting your chest up just a little bit. So our seated wide angle pose is really great for the hamstrings, opening up the quads, the glutes, and the hips. So staying here, breathing in your pose, whatever variation that you took, peace fingers on the big toes, or just palms planted on the mat. Take one more full belly breath, giving the love to your hamstrings. Good. On your next inhale, slowly begin to roll up, lengthen your spine. And then setting up for our final pose, bring both feet in together, scooting to the top of your mat. So rooting your sit bones down to the top of your mat with a bend in your knees. Lengthen your spine, send your shoulders down the back, extend your arms out long in front of you. Take a big full belly inhale. And then exhale as you slowly begin to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Keeping your core engaged, practicing your patience. Head comes down last. And hug your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a loving hug. You can rock side to side, bringing warmth into your spine and into your hips. And setting up for a happy baby pose. So grabbing your peace fingers again, wrapping them around your big toes. You can stay here or take any variation that you want with your hands on your feet, either grabbing the inside, soles of your feet, or the outside, whatever feels best and most comfortable to you. So you're peeling your knees apart, trying to root your knees down as close as you can to the mat, just making sure that your tailbone is rooted down to the mat. You can stay here and breathe, rock side to side to bring love into your hips or low back. Or we can add on our happy baby variation. Keep a bend in your left knee, extend your right leg long for our archer pose, opening up our right hamstring even more. Again, stay here and breathe or rock side to side if that feels good. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, switch, bring a bend into your right knee, extend your left leg long for archer pose on the other side. Again, rock side to side, give some love to your left hamstring. And then if you want to take it even deeper, you can open up both legs, giving love to both hamstrings. Again, whatever variation feels best to you, peace fingers around your toes, or grabbing, or releasing and grabbing your calves or your shins, whatever feels best to help open up and give love to those hamstrings. Stay here for one more full belly breath. Take a big inhale. And then exhale when you're ready. Slowly begin to draw knees together, hugging your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself one last loving hug. And this is where I leave you today. So take a moment to stay here and breathe, or really do what empowers you in your practice. Come into Shavasana, child's pose, anything that feels best for you and your hamstrings. So remember that flexibility does not happen overnight. It takes time to open up your hamstrings. And remember, you can check back in with this video as many times as you'd like to help empower your practice. And be sure to subscribe to our Yogi-approved YouTube channel to check out more videos like this one.